Well, folks, it is that time again. Welcome back to round 2 of the VPRL from VPR With Love, presented by Grove Street, series sponsored by Coach Dave and SimGrid. You join us here 2.5 minutes into our 10-minute qualifying session here tonight at the wonderful Brands Hatch Speedway, located in Kent, United Kingdom. It's been an interesting event so far already. Multiple drivers pushing their way into the 124s as we work our way through qualifying here at the moment. Currently we're on board with Paps, sat in the pole position, or net pole position at the moment. Was one of the dominant cars all day last week until a mid-race error dropped him out of contention. We'll be looking to rectify that tonight and see if he can keep his podium streak alive. Continue to circulate, excuse me. Why don't we take a quick run through our drivers tonight. Starting out with Paps, again, one of the dominant drivers of the day last week, as previously mentioned. Currently sat in the net pole position at a 124.2. Then we move down to Sanchez, only about half a second off at the moment. Another strong contender. Jumping up into the second position just now, higher place, we're just going to call him higher at the moment, a newcomer to the series at the moment, I believe, as I've been informed, so we'll see how he files into the grid. So it looks like we have more and more drivers starting to set faster lap times here. Pio now tops the timing sheets at a 124.149, excuse me, words. Lap times in practice we're pushing into the 123s, so we'll see if any drivers can work their way up there as Paivo goes for a spin coming out of turn 4. He will keep the car out of the wall. Damage is on for this series, so drivers will need to keep that in mind and try to keep themselves out of the wall. Try to circle back through the field once again. Dropping Dean in the 5th position, heading out to go for another run. And we'll wait for cars on the flying lap to pass on by. Currently in the 6th position, we have Safe, gorgeous Gulf livery. We'll be looking for a strong night tonight. We have Azrael, another strong driver. Again, worth mentioning to some of my regular time viewers who probably don't expect me to be streaming Gran Turismo 7 races this time. These are some of the best on both controller and wheel, and we are very lucky to have them here in VPRL. But once again, can't express enough gratitude to Dean and the head admins at VPRL for bringing me on board to broadcast these events for you, the folks at home. Shout out to them. Be sure to check out VPRL, SimGrid, and all the other leads in that organization at some point. But as I was saying, some of the best talent here on display tonight. And, we're certainly looking forward to seeing the action that they will be bringing on the track there tonight. 2.5 minutes left in the session, just about. Pabst has retaken the top spot now, pushing into the 123s. It looks like he is the first driver to do so. No, I stand... yes, that is an accurate statement. Pivo is currently sat at a 124.1 still. So one driver now up into the 23s. We'll see if anyone else can work their way into that time bracket. It was a very strategy-ridden race last time out at Grand Valley. Drivers, multiple different compounds at various different occasions between the drivers. Once again, all drivers forced to run both the soft and medium compound tires for this series. And it was Pabst who led the way for the most part, especially in the early running, holding a very strong, comfortable margin. But then after that, after his pit stop, he just, unfortunate error, spun it coming out of a very tricky corner. So just a simple mistake, but he lost a whole heap of time. He still cycled out to the lead, but he was on this, the harder compounded tire, and he got reeled in fairly quickly. Ultimately still held on to a second place finish, which was still a very strong result. Pivo now retakes the pole position at 123.6, so a very strong time. Fastest we saw in practice was a 123.5, so we'll see if anyone can get to that point. A very strong lap here, as we've got just about 30 seconds remaining here in qualifying. 20 seconds now, excuse me. So, if drivers haven't started the lap yet, this will be their final laps. So, why don't we take a ride on board with Pivo here, as he is currently up on his previous time. All the tracking grid available here as he goes through turn 7. Also getting a pretty decent slipstream off of a 7R Sleepy. We'll see if he can wrangle back at the 10th he lost. As they come over the line. Does he improve on that time? He does! Found 2/10 in those final 2 corners, and he will secure the pole position at a 123.604. Strong lap from Pivo to set us up here this evening. Pabst will bring it home in second position for qualifying, followed by Sanchez, Heyer, and Seif, your top 5. Dean will once again start in the 6th position, second week in a row for him. He'll be looking for another strong start as he got last week. Azrael in 7th position, then you have Stig in 8th, Luke in 9th, Matt 10th, and Sleepy will round out our A-Lobby in 11th. That will do it for qualifying. Don't go anywhere, folks. Stick around. And we will be back for the main competition very shortly. Don't go anywhere. There you have it, folks. You can see your our starting lineup on the right-hand side of your screen here. Paivo from Pabst, from Sanchez, from Hire, from Safe, your top 5. Field all kept within 2 seconds of each other, so on a track like this, that is a fairly impressive effort from everyone. So we shall see how everyone fares come the race. And speaking of which, let's briefly explain the format for the folks. 40-minute timed session coming up. Once time expires, the leaders will be on their final lap. 2 mandatory tire compounds in use for this series, the soft and the medium compound tires. Drivers will be required to run at least 1 set of each. Obviously, they can pit more than once, but not exactly recommended. And we shall be looking to get set and underway here in just a couple short minutes. While we wait, why don't we talk about this wonderful facility that we are at here tonight. Brands Hatch, as previously stated in the broadcast already, located in Kent. It's a 2.43 mile 9-turn circuit. Fantastic elevation change, well known for its opening 2 corners of the, oh goodness, I'm never going to remember the names, Paddock Hill Bend, and of course the Druid's Hairpin. So, interesting race coming up, folks, as we wait for the drivers to get ready and finish their quick intermission, and we look to get underway. Looks like they're just about ready to get underway, folks. As we wait to hear back from all 11 of our competitors here tonight. I'm not sure if it's coming across mic, but if you do hear me drinking something, folks, I do apologize. My throat's been a little bit dry the past couple weeks, so hopefully I can get that mended in time for the finale next Monday. But here we go, folks. 40-minute race ahead of us as we get ready for round 2 of this event. Paivo on the pole position. We'll have the ideal line coming down into turn 1 here as we wait for the lights. Drivers revving up, lights coming on. I've not got the things on. My apologies. And we are underway. Paivo gets out to an early lead. Sanchez gets up to the inside of Pabst. Not going to be able to make the move stick. Dean already looking for positions here. Still trying to fight up on the inside, going through turn 1, going through the Druid's Hairpin. Slight moment from Hire, further back in 5th. But it will be Paivo leading from Pabst, Sanchez, Dean, and Hire. Your top 5 as we have a moment further in the back. Matt, who got loose coming off turn 3. He will keep it together. See, getting up into the gravel a bit, but he'll keep it pointing in a straight line as he looks to make a run on Nuke for that 7th position. Everyone rockets their way through turn 5. One car off in the back that is sleepy. He will manage to keep it going in a straight line. Hold on to it. That's one of the challenges of this track. Very narrow as they are side by side through turn 7. Matt's going to get pushed off. He'll rejoin safely, but he's going to have a lot of ground to make up. Now back up front, Pivo still leads from Paps, Sanchez, Dean, Hire, and Azrael. Dean, Azrael, and Hire all fighting a bit of a three-way battle for that 4th place position as they come around to complete lap 1. Dean going off track, so does Hire. It's going to spew gravel out onto the track. They keep it going for now, but they've got to be cautious. They don't want to pick up any penalties. Hire looking for a move. Let's hop on board with him. Looks to the inside. He's going to get the nose in. Ooh, nearly contact on exit here, but Dean's going to get the run off that outside lane. And Hire get the run down into turn 5. No, he'll sit behind. Perhaps a little bit of contact going through turn 5. Looks up the inside of turn 6. Dean is going to just let him have it. No, he's going to cross him over. Excuse me. What a cutback by Dean as he will hang on to that 4th place position. Top 3 all still in the same positions and running away with it as these two continue the battle. We're going to stay on board. We're going to stay on this battle as Hire now going to try around the outside in turn 9, the final corner. Looking for the crossover, door to door now as they approach the start-finish line here. Dean hold it around the outside. He might try it. No, he's going to slot back in line. Look for the crossover coming out of turn 1. He's going to defend the inside line coming into the Druid's hairpin. He pushed a little wide. That's going to leave the door open for Dean possibly, but nope, not going to happen. As Hire will slot himself up into the 4th place position. Still a net position gain for Dean off the initial start as Azrael actually has a half-second penalty. Not quite sure where he took that up. I would assume coming out of turn 1, but he will need to serve that at the penalty point on the straightaway between turns 8 and 9. Everyone finally beginning to settle in for a bit, as we are now 4 minutes into this 40-minute event. Azrael might possibly be able to hold on to the 6th place position, but I could be wrong here. I believe Sid will probably get him there. No, he doesn't actually. Contact's going to be made, and Azrael's going to go off the circuit. He's going to need to be careful with the rejoin, and he does, but he will lose a ton of positions here due to a bit of contact going through turn 9. Drop him down to the 9th place position, right back to the sleepy and back further up front. Hire still holding on to that 4th place position. We would focus in on the 3 leaders, but in case you can't quite tell from the minimap, they are all rather spread out at the moment. So Hire will continue on in the 4th position. Dean still running in 5th. Safe up into 6th now after the slight bit of contact with I already forget who that was. With Azrael, excuse me. So Safe is up to 6th. Nuke in 7th now, sticking 8th. As the 2 teammates continue to run nose to tail, just like we did in the previous race, I might add. So good to see skill level and lap time between the 2 just about as equal as it was last time. Pivo goes on to second fastest lap of the race so far, a 1:23.9. I would assume that means he's running off a soft compound tire at the moment. Azriel continues to try to fight his way forward. Matt's actually made up a position now and he's running in the 10th position. Sleepy will round out the top, round out our field for the moment. Everyone seemingly likes to do all the after turf and grading out on the outside of the exit between the trees. I wish I could say there's a little more action going on at the moment, but everyone seems to be very spread out. So that's most likely just the nature of this tight, twisty, and extremely narrow classic circuit. A beautiful facility, probably not the best for side-by-side racing action, which is a bit surprising considering the venue we were just at. As Pivo goes on to set another fastest lap of the race, a 1:23.4. He is flying at the moment. Faster than we saw in qualifying. I would assume that just means track conditions are getting a lot nicer. We'll drop down. It looks like there could be a battle for 7, possibly. Still about an 7 or 8 tenth gap between the two teammates. As everyone continues to circulate and take off laps. Further back, Azriel running a bit wide out of the hairpin. Still holding on to that 9th position. As I click off it, looks like we've got a bit of a battle brewing now as Matt continues to close in on Azriel. On board with Matt here as he continues to try to close in and maybe set up the move. Azriel not afraid to drift a couple tires into the grass. Drift over the sides of the curbs. Matt's going to have a bit of a run here coming down to turn 9. Azriel defends the inside. That's going to hurt his momentum coming out of the corner. Quite able to set up the run though. Azriel missing the corner a little bit at turn 1. We'll have a slight, goes in slightly coming into the hairpin, running a wider entry for a shallow exit. That's going to give him a run coming out of the corner, side by side in turn 3. Loose from both of them as both of them will slide the back end on exit. There's Matt clear? No, they're still going to be side by side here. There's going to be a drag race coming down to turn 5 here. Azriel trying to shut the door. Does Matt yield? No, neither one of them wanted to yield there. Azriel's going to get the run off the corner. He will hold on to that spot for now. Very aggressive over that apex curve at turn 6. Oh, and too aggressive though. He's picked up another penalty. What a shame. Now he's going to most likely move that 9th position. No, he doesn't serve it this time. Okay, he'll serve it next lap then. See if Matt can close in. He's just outside of that penalty window, so he wants to take advantage of it to get a free spot. He's going to need to close up a little bit over the close of this lap. Both of them going all the way out to the edge of the gravel there. See that coming out of turn 1, now to turn 2. Looks like Matt's just starting to drop back a little bit. Sleepy tries to close in a bit on Matt now as well. Excuse me. Looks like this battle's going to mellow out just a little bit for now. Looking back further up front, Safe is actually starting to close in on Beam, it looks like, for the 5th position. Ball up front, still pretty steady gaps. Cargo now with a 4-second lead over Paps, who also has about a 6-second gap with Sanchez. The podium position's still pretty sorted out at the moment. Higher currently running in a world of his own 4th position now. Slowly being hunted down by Safe. I apologize. They told me, a couple of them told me how their names were pronounced, or their tags were announced coming into this event, and I'm already forgetting, so I do apologize, folks. Safe, well, trying to close in, still about a half-second gap between the two drivers. Further back, Azrael has now served the penalty and has dropped a few seconds off the match, right? I hate to say it, but I assume that it was probably another race that he got contact going into the final corner and pushed him wide, which is how that happens. Probably not as bad of an incident as the first penalty he served, but certainly something that back in on this battle for 5th place. Pretty safe, trying to close in on Beam. Beam runs it a little wide, but going through turn 1. Safe's got a run on him. Does he look to the inside and drill it? Not going to happen just yet. Might be able to get a better exit. No, he can't. Let's see if we can take a look at what tires these guys are running. Safe is on the, both of them actually are running on the medium tire, as is higher. Sanchez on the mediums, Paps on the softs. He probably might be looking into coming into the pits soon here, near the 15-minute mark. Ivo also on the softs. So Sanchez might be in one of the better positions here. We saw last week just how much soft compound tires are worth, especially if you can get on them much later in the race. Like, forgetting who won the race last week. I don't know who was racing. As we saw, though. So we'll see if Sanchez can capitalize on that. He will have faster tire come the second stint of this race, but he will be looking to take these mediums well into this stint, probably pit around the 25-minute mark, so about 10 minutes or so from now. If I have to guess. Ivo and Paps probably looking to make a pit stop within the next 10 minutes. Meanwhile, for the backs, Dean still holding off Safe. Gap now down to 3.5 tenths. See if Safe can get a run off the corner here. Not quite doing just yet. Further back to the pack. Azrael starting to pull away slightly from Safe. Still a bit of a gap between the drivers at the moment. We will jump back up to Dean and Safe. Yeah, now under 3 tenths. Was under 3 tenths going into turn 8. drivers. It looks like Dean's got slightly better tire wear, especially on that the left front. A couple trips into gravel like that probably aren't going to help him with tire wear. It's a marginal difference, but you know, every little bit helps. If someone's got a teammate looking out for him and calling out shots, and I kind of like giving them like unfair advantage in the tire. Dean now, as I was going on that little mini rant, pretty much doubled the gap now. It's only 6/10. As it looks like Pivo and Paps have really started turning up the wick now. Not exactly running faster lap times, but certainly have pulled away from the rest of the medium tire runners. As we begin to near the halfway point, just over 22 minutes remaining in the race. Closing in on Sanchez now. That'll be interesting to keep an eye out for and see if that number 19 machine can't catch the 911 car. Just about 2-second gap now between the two drivers. Tire continues to try to close in. Has been running a very consistent lap time spectrum. Just about every single lap in running 24. As Paps now comes into the pits, he will pit off of the softs and onto the mediums. Look to find him as he exits the pits. 17-second gap behind the leader. So certainly not a bad stop at all. So a much shorter pit lane this one than Grand Valley. That just means every single mistake will be possible. Keep an eye on Pabst here. Hopefully he doesn't have another little accident like he did last time out. So far, so good. He slowly brings those medium compound tires up to temperature. As Pivo now jumps into the pits. We'll see how these two cycle out compared to each other. Pivo's actually already exiting the pits. He's still got about the whole front straightaway on Paps here. We'll see if Paps is able to make up a decent amount of ground here as Pivo brings the tires up to time himself. So remember a 9-second gap here at the start of this lap. We'll see if that comes down on it. As the gap now has shrunken by another half second between Hire and Sanchez. Just about, it was half a second before home. Still continuing to close in. It'll be interesting to see once these two do pit onto the soft compound tire if they're able to make up a pit stop gap. Sanchez is currently 2.5 seconds, give or take, off of Pivo in the lead. But again, Pivo is already pit. So once Sanchez dives in, he's got the 2.5-second gap plus the time loss in the pit lane to make up. So let's see just how much the soft compound tires are worth. That has come down slightly, but not by much. It was 9 seconds at the start of this lap. It's come down to an 8.3. Because Nuke now is the next car to enter the pit, so he'll be coming off of the mediums and onto the soft compound tires. First one onto that, onto a fresh set of softs since the start of the race. We'll see if he can make those tires last to the end. A long way to go now, 18 minutes left in this race. Although Pivo and Pabst did take theirs about the same distance, so it should be okay. Let's check it back in on that battle for the fifth. Has that closed up? No, it's actually grown a little bit since. Dean continuing to slowly inch away from safe. Dean, another one running very consistent lap times. Not exactly front runner pace at the moment, though that could be expected based off of the compound tire. As both he and Safe will dive their way into the pits to make their stop onto the other set of compound tires. Good stop by Dean as he will come out of the pits. You join battling for sixth with Matt. Those fresh soft compound tires, they don't take very long to warm up. He's already off and away. Immediately starting to pull over Matt. So we'll see how much outright pace he can show here as he will try to catch back up and try to fight for another podium. Meanwhile, back up front, Pivo has started to pull away, though that could be expected based off of the much fresher Indian compound tires and higher in second. Let's see, does Hire come into the pits this time? He does. Hire will make his stop with 16 minutes remaining in this race. He's going on to the soft compound tire, but we will see if he's able to make up the gap. He will drop in behind Sanchez. Has Sanchez already made his stop? I assume so. Yes, Sanchez has already made his stop. So a 13-second gap to make up on the leaders. So let's keep an eye on that as it starts to come down. Actually took the previous lap and outlap at the 26.7. That's pretty good, I would assume. Already making inroads. Looks like he should be able to get Pabst with relative ease, actually. It's only a 3-second gap. That will come down very quickly. So we'll keep an eye on that as this battle begins to form. Just briefly, while these four cars up front start to play out, have their strategies play out, let's jump further back. Battle for sixth at the moment between Matt, Nuke, and Safe. I'm gonna keep doing that. I apologize. Nuke tries to set up a move on Matt into the final corner. Does he take a look? Far back. Oh man, Matt's actually going to dive it into the pits, make his pit stop. Nuke up to 6th position. Let's jump back up to our leaders here. Sanchez now 12.8 or so, back in the lead. Already down to into the low 24s. He will be making massive inroads on the lead. Under 2.5 seconds now to pass. Now the question will be, how long does it take for him to get around Pabst? And then will he have enough time to go and chase down Tyvo? I'm just not quite sure if he'll have enough time. That gap is holding steady at just around 13 seconds between him and Tyvo. Tyvo, even on those harder compound tires, still managing to run just about similar lap times. Sanchez only knocking out a couple tenths each lap. Down to 12.5 now, but not exactly the inroads he needs with only 12.5 minutes remaining now at this point. The reality is he needs about a second a minute. Second of time for him. Now tired, he's found the peak performance of those tires in his hands. 23.8, certainly not a bad lap time by any means. If he wants to catch Tyvo, he's going to need to be running a couple more tenths quicker each lap, I'd assume. Briefly take a look at what sort of lap times Tyvo is running. Yeah, even on those medium compound tires, he himself is still running 24.2s, 24.3s, 24.1s even on the mediums in this lap. 24. Okay, there's a 24.8 out of him. So either he made a slight error somewhere, or those medium tires are starting to give out a little bit, as that gap's now down to 10.7. Oh, and a snap from Tyvo coming out of the Druid's hairpin. That's going to lose him even more time. This race might not be over, folks. Don't count him out. Oh, excuse me, it's 11 minutes. Okay. My apologies, folks. I was doing the time to pass. But this battle is now starting to heat up for third here. Sanchez closes in under 3/10 now as they come down to turn 5. He'll be looking to set up a move possibly into turn 6 if he's very eager. He doesn't sit in behind and wait until a bit more of an easier overtaking opportunity. Ooh, little squiggle coming out of turn 6. Lose a little bit of time, but hasn't lost too much compared to Pabst. Dropped about a tenth there. Penultimate corner, closes in again. Higher with another squiggle coming out of turn 8. 2.5 tenths, 2 tenths, 1.5, closing in, slipstream. Where does he make the move? Looks to the high side. Does he set him up? He's going to try to set up a crossover, I think. Maybe dive it into... he's going to look again to the outside, perhaps defending the inside of the corner at Druids. Sanchez still looking for a way around. It's that wider entry line into turn 3. Looks around, looks a little bit wider to turn 4. Gets another run. He's right on the rear bumper of him. So they continue to battle their way around. This is costing Sanchez heaps of time here. We are now approaching the 9 minutes remaining mark. 12-second gap now as they continue to battle. Pivo's just going to continue to run away here. I don't think there's enough time, so barring any catastrophic mistakes, I think Pivo's going to run away with this one. Pivo. Have I been calling him Pivo this entire time? I'm really sorry. I keep doing this. Side by side now, Sanchez got her to the outside of Pabst. Does he hold it around the outside of turn 1? No, he's going to look for another crossover attempt. Pabst, excuse me, is going to defend that inside for his life. He missed the corner slightly. Sanchez now going to drag race him out of turn 2. Pabst sends it up the inside. He's going to hold on to that spot. What a save from Sanchez. Holds on to it, and now here comes Higher, diving bombing it up the inside. He's now up into the podium spots. Oh, but it looks like he's going to give that one back. What sportsmanship driving between the two North Americans. As they continue to try to close in on Pabst here. This will now be a three-way fight for the podium. Looks like further back, Dean might not be out of trouble just yet, as he's got Nukem safe closing in on him. But we will keep the battle focused up here for the podium positions. And we'll see if Sanchez can run Pabst down again. We're going to start lap 24. 7 minutes remaining here at Brands Hatch. Why don't we hop on board with Higher here? As he and Sanchez continue to try to run down Pabst. Between Sanchez and Pabst. Sanchez continuing to try to close in. Higher starting to fall off this battle a little bit. Goes to up front to battle a little bit if he wants a shot at second. I don't think he quite has the pace to get them on his own. 6 tenths now as Sanchez continues to close in. He'll back on Golden Quinn in the third position. Tires actually look a little bit better than Myers, despite hitting the lap earlier. Very interesting note to see. Meanwhile, let's take a look at how Pabst is faring against tires. Certainly not as worn, so that could play a factor in helping him. But even still, that motor compound tire, I don't think he's going to provide the grip in all reality wants. As Sanchez, under 2 tenths now, riding in that slipstream, he's going to close in big time under the brakes in turn 5. Little slide, gave it a peek as they approached turn 6, trying to get Pabst offline. Didn't fall for it. Oh, both of them dropping a tire in the grass on the entry to 7. You gotta be careful about that. Pabst getting a little bit wide, didn't quite get the apex curve. Turn 8, this is going to allow Sanchez to look around the outside. Can he cross him over? He'll have the inside now. First time he's been to Pabst's inside as they rocket their way down to turn 1. Side by side. Can he try to set up the crossover? No, Higher is there. Higher's going to prevent Pabst from trying to crossover, excuse me. Tyre's going to use a little argy-bargy to get his way up into the podium positions. Just unfortunate timing, I think, for Pabst. Maybe he should have put in a lap later when he was running the softs earlier. I don't know, but those medium tires just not providing the grip he needs, and unless these soft compound tires that Sanchez and Hire are running start to fall off, I think that's going to be fourth position all set for him, unless these two start to battle. Which they very well might do, as Hire is staying right on the bumper of Sanchez. Look to the outside, here we go. Little bit of contact made going into the corner, possibly. If not, it was certainly extremely close between the two of them. As Fire will get the better run out of the corner. He's going to have a slipstream run coming down the front straightaway. 3 minutes remaining in this one here today. And with the lap times they're running, I would assume this to be just about 2 or possibly 3 laps to go, given the placement of the leader. So we'll see if 5-0 keeps going. I told you I was going to do it again, and I did. I called him 5-0. It's Pio. I sincerely apologize for these drivers if I'm getting any of this incorrect. Now trying to close back in on Sanchez. I don't think he's going to do it though. I think this is how these three are going to continue to run unless someone makes a mistake. Further back, meanwhile, I've just noticed on the mini-map, Dean is not out of the woods. He's got a very worn left front tire. And Nuke right behind him is closing in. And as you can see in that bottom left, he has got a much better left front, certainly much more even tire wear between them. So we'll see if Nuke can make a move here late in this running. Under 2 minutes to go now. I apologize to anyone looking to see how the leader is faring, but frankly, if you wanted to see more content about the leader, Trump would not be 15 seconds ahead of the pack. A dominant display by Paivo this evening, as he has absolutely run away with it. 1 minute remaining. It should be a lap and a half left, assuming he doesn't slow down for the line. Further back, we will continue to watch this battle for fifth here. Nuke continues to try to close in on Dean here for that top 5 spot. Fairly even exit out of turn 4 that was. Dean seems to really like pushing the entry to these corners, at least compared to Nuke. But Nuke tends to focus on these exits, which seems to help him on the corners immediately leading up to long straights, as actually he just made a pretty poor mistake going through turn 7. As time has expired, we are on the final lap. And it looks like Dean will hold on to that 5th place position, barring any mistake. And now it's actually Nuke versus Safe for 6th, as they will cross the line to finish their races. We will look back to our leader. Actually, we'll just get a brief look to our podium runners. Sanchez and Hire, still a bit of a gap between them. I don't think any position change is going to happen between them. It was a dominant display, pole position by a couple tenths over the rest of the field, certainly. has led from start to finish uncontested. Got away with the lead off the initial start and hasn't looked back since. Pio will come around and he will take the checkered flag. He will win here in round 2 of VPRL. And Sanchez and Higher, great runs by both of them to come from, I believe, 3rd and 4th on the grid to round out the podium positions. Tough break for Pabst as he spins it across the line. Had a shot at the podium, couldn't quite get there, unfortunately. But another solid run from him. And that, as Higher will round out the top 5. I don't think that's results, actually. Okay, excuse me. So Pio wins this evening. 0.3 of a second faster on the field compared as to fastest. Or sorry, no, not 0.3 faster. My apologies, Higher. You were fairly close to that lap time. Pio will win the race this evening here, round 2 of the VPRL series. Sanchez, a fantastic run from him, will bring it home in 2nd. Oh my goodness, what am I saying? Pio first, Sanchez second, Higher will bring it home 3rd, Pabst will bring it home 4th. Dean will round out our top 5, followed by Nuke, Safe, Stig, and it's not showing me anyone below 8th, unfortunately. Oh well. Fantastic race from everyone this evening. Another brilliant showing. Be sure, folks at home, tune in next week for the finale. I've got to double check the calendar, see where the final round runs. But same time next week, we hope to see you there for the VPRL, from VPRL With Love season finale. I've been TNR Blade. Thank you all very much for watching. And thank you, Pabst. Interlagos. So be sure to check that one out. That track is going to be a fantastic one to watch. Thank you all for tuning in. We will see you same time next week, 9 p.m. Eastern. Have a good night.